Yeah, afterwards, I love figuring out how people got in improv, what their love is. So I'd love to talk to you about the musical improv and just like in general, how you got started and what brought you in.
Sure.
But yeah, do you have any questions about like I mean, there is no real form. It's just like 10 minutes of however you want to play it, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I just see you as like the perfect partner. I mean, everything I've ever watched with you,
Come on.
like as much as I'm jumping out of my skin right now with fear and anxiety, I know that with you, you make anyone look good. So
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's my goal is like, let's just play and have fun.
yeah,
I mean, we can't really fuck it up because it's never happened. So,
totally, totally, exactly.
pick a number 1 to 98.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
okay. Am I able to pick three numbers and then you choose one of those numbers so
Yeah.
that I feel that all the responsibility is not on my shoulders? Is that okay? Could we do that?
Well, we all know that if a show goes bonkers, it's always the fault of the suggestion for sure. Your three numbers?
Okay, 83,
Uh-huh.
27, and 10.
All right, 83, 27, and 10. The first number you said was 83. So
Yep.
let's go with 83. Uh,
Okay.
all right, 98, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 90, 89, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Oh, wow. Are you ready?
So,
Oh, I can't wait. Our suggestion comes from Michael. And our suggestion, my friend, is orange stuff.
orange stuff.
Orange stuff. All right. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay. So we both see the same thing, right?
We both, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we both see the same thing.
Okay. I think just take a breath.
Okay, I'll take a breath.
I mean, is that I'm not saying to do it. I'm not sure. So I'm like, do we take a breath?
I have never seen a flower more beautiful
I know.
in my life.
My first instinct is I want to cut it because I want
Yeah,
to.
but we can't do that. We can't do.
I know. I'm not gonna, but I'm like, it's an indictment on me that instead of just letting it be, I want to hold it and take it and protect it. And I can't just appreciate it. So
If I'm honest,
yeah.
I feel the same. Like I just want to have it. I just want to covet it. It's so special, and I just want to have it for myself. But we can't. We have to
Just watch it.
just watch it.
I All right, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah, we'll be honest. Yeah,
I did not even I couldn't prepare myself for this. I thought we were just going for a walk.
I know.
And now it's like,
And this.
yeah. Part of me wants to like gouge my eyes out because I know I'm never going to see anything as beautiful as that flower. But I feel that's an extreme position to take. But I'm also like, well, if the last thing I'm going to see is that's pretty good.
In saying that, I would like you not to gouge your eye out.
Okay. I won't.
Okay.
No, I won't. I won't.
Okay. All right. So it was a metaphor. It wasn't.
Well, if I'm being completely honest,
Just be honest.
if you had encouraged me and said, I think you should do it, I might have done it. I'm not saying you should encourage me to do it, but I'm thinking like, I don't know if it's more a metaphor than an actual like, no, I think, because I think like back in the Greek times, there were artists that made things so beautiful that their eyes were gouged out because the rulers didn't want them to create anything as beautiful. So, but what I'm so happy that you're like, hey, come back from that ledge of destroying your body.
But you know what? You know what, Mac? Look, the fact that you would have.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
I what?
Well, a part of the reason I didn't want you to gouge your eyes out were because, well, they're pretty beautiful, and I just noticed really for the first time.
Yeah, yours. Wow, you. I I guess I need to apologize because,
I don't apologize, but
well, that flower isn't the most beautiful thing I've seen. Your eyes are.
you think so?
Yeah.
Because I think your eyes are.
Your hair's great. Your hair looks great.
Your hair's amazing. I should have said that to you before. I mean, I noticed it when you were walking up to me, and it was just sort of flowing in the wind, and I kind of thought of Cary Grant. I'm just saying.
Uh, uh, is there a reason you brought up the name Cary Grant? Of all the people, all the actor, is there a reason you brought his name up?
It just came to me. It was like a revelation. I just saw you and Cary Grant and the essence of Cary Grant, and
That's, I
is
mean,
that good? Is that
he's my favorite movie star.
what?
I used to go watch Cary Grant movies with my father. That was the one thing we connected in life over, was watching those movies together, and it holds a very special place, a special place in my heart. Oh my God. Okay, there are there are signs everywhere if we're open for them.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
you're okay. You know who you remind me of?
Who?
I'm not just saying this either. Like, you might think I'm just saying this, but if I'm being completely honest, and I feel like I can be completely honest with you,
Yep.
you remind me of Audrey Hepburn.
Oh my God. That's the best. My mum and I used to breakfast at Tiffany's. That was
Oh, no.
that
Really?
was our favorite. That was our favorite movie. It's been on my bucket list to go to Tiffany's my whole life because of Audrey. How is this possible? Is this the flower? Is the flower doing this, or is this real? Was this real beforehand, or is this something? Are we being manipulated? Is this real?
I think we're always being manipulated by the energy of the universe. Yeah.
True.
This
is me second guessing again. This is just me second guess.
It's human nature. Helen, it's human nature to second guess yourself.
Yes. Yes.
I don't think it's chance that we took this path and saw that flower at this time on this day. I think it's a sign.
Should we pick the flower? Should we pick the flower?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I'll get it. Can I put it behind your ear?
Yes. Thank you.
Your hands are soft.
Your hands are surprisingly soft too.
I'm not a big fan of manual labor. So I know my limitations.
I think it's important to know limitations. And if I'm completely honest, my limitation is controlling myself right now.
Oh. I don't know if you have to.
Really? Would that be okay?
Can I be honest? Like completely honest?
Yeah.
That was like the most incredible thing ever.
Me too.
Scene.
Okay, orange stuff. Yeah. Was it the orange stuff or was it something else? We'll never know.
I mean, it's up to the audience.
That's right.
This is a great example of like you can make connections virtually very easily if you're open to that possibility versus not. So
true.
I mean, it's
true.
It's your imagination, right? Like how can you can't go wrong if you just open it up a little bit and say, okay, I'm gonna buy into this. There's no, it's not harder to, for me, it's like, it's no harder to buy into us walking virtually than it is on a stage.
I could see it, man. Like I'm
Oh,
telling you, I could 100% see the whole thing.
it's so fun. Isn't it like the most fun? I mean, it's just so fun.
I love it. It's like endless possibility, you know? And I think that's something that everybody needs to feel in their life. And even if you could just have it for that moment or for those 10 minutes, I think it enriches your life in a lot of ways.
Oh, I can't agree more. 100%. I'm like, this is, it's not, it's not that it's limiting. It can open things up so much more if you just lean into it. And that's the thing, is people, not enough people I feel like are going to lean into it. It's like, okay, but you're missing a lot of the connections that can be made.
Well, I can definitely say we leaned into it all right, didn't we, eh?
How did you get into improv? What brought you in?
Okay, so if I'm going to be honest,
Completely.
So a few years back, I had probably the worst time in my life. And I was so depressed, and a lot of things happened in succession. I'm not the kind of person that believes in curses, but I was like, I'm cursed.
There's something.
So yeah, it was bad, right? And then I just realized that if I didn't find something that was going to bring me joy in my life, that this was going to be bad, that this was going to be really bad. So I decided to take up badminton and improv.
At the same time?
Yes.
Were you like, one of these is gonna work?
Pretty much.
I
was hedging
that.
my bets.
You're like, one of these two, I'm guaranteed
Yeah.
gonna bring me out of it. Yeah, okay.
It was kind of like bucket list activities. And because I'd been a professional musician for 20 years, that was sort of my hobby, my life, my lifestyle. So there wasn't really any room for any other kind of hobbies and stuff. And then when everything crashed down to nothing, and I was left with nothing, and I had to become a phoenix from the ashes, those were the things that I thought, well, I can actually, I can do these things now that I've been sort of putting off for a long time. And my husband said, look, you need to improvise. I've just got a feeling that that's something that you'd be good at. So I had his encouragement and I started doing it. And pretty much from the very first go, I was like, oh my God, I never have to be bored again. This is amazing. Like, this is incredible. So that was it.
First off, kudos for your husband. Like, not many significant other spouses are like, you need to go improvise. But like, was he an improviser? Did he have a background in comedy? Like, what made him say this is something you need to do?
No, so he's also a musician, and we played together for a while, but we both decided to do sort of degrees, and he's doing his PhD in psychology now, and I did my degree, but I still sort of came back to creative arts. He still does improv with me every now and then, but he's not an improviser. It was more just he knew that I'm the kind of person that gets bored easy, needs possibility. My number one value is freedom, and you are never freer than when you are improvising. That's just a fact.
Right.
You know? So yeah.
It's so true. It's like, that's the time, because I think we get into it so you can do anything. And especially things you can't do in life. Like, too many times watching scenes where it's like, why are you letting those life limitations get to you here in this world of make-believe? Like, just do the thing. Don't put barriers to what you can do. You can do anything here.
Yes, it's amazing. And it's so empowering, from the sense too that, you know, I could be a guy, I could be a girl, I could be an object, I could be an animal, I could be anywhere, I could be in outer space, I could be, you know, in America right now with you, you know what I mean? So the possibilities are endless. And I just think for creativity in general, that's an amazing feeling to be able to go, okay, we sort of got a structure, you know, got the yes and listening and all that stuff. But within that, there's just this amazing space of possibility. And that's just, it's inspiring.
I mean, it's for sure. And it's like when somebody paints, people don't go, paint better, paint different. They're just like, I don't know, paint. And like you can
Yeah.
learn different styles, but it's pretty much you doing it. I feel it's the same, very parallel to improv. It's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
you could go learn techniques or like game of scene or structures, but at the end of the day, what's most fun is get out there, pull these, just let your imagination go wild and build some world together with someone else. It's very empowering.
Yeah, it's amazing and it's so connective. And it's again that whole, the sum's greater than the parts where things will happen which you just couldn't sort of do on your own, or like it's that interaction that
Yeah.
happens between people, whether it be duo, trio, ensemble,
Yeah.
and even with ensemble, then the possibilities are greater again because of everybody's, unique position. But yeah, I just really believe that everybody should do at least one improv class in their life. I really 100% believe that.
Oh, me too. I love this virtual setting because
Yeah.
more people can now have access to do it. And it's like, try it once and it might
Yeah.
worst case, you come out of there and you go, I never have to do that again. But like, you know what I mean? It's like worst case is you don't have to do that class again. But in more often than not, you're going to be laughing with other people. And a lot of them are different than you. And you go, oh, wow, I never would have hung out with any of these folks except in this improv class where I'm laughing. And it's like, laughing's a pretty necessary thing, especially right now.
Especially right now. And the other thing is too, just the mindfulness of it, like in improv,
Yeah.
I always feel that as much as it's like art, like you said, it's also a practice and it's also a place where two opposing truths can be held at once.
Yes.
And that freaks some people out, but at the same time, that is freedom,
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I can just go on about it for hours.
Well,
But yeah.
you've got you have a very musical style about you when you play. It's
I'll
very,
take that as a compliment.
yeah, it's very musical. Like there's very much a flow and a rhythm to playing with you that it's like, oh, it makes sense that you have a passion, you have a background in music because it comes out in kind of the style that you bring. It's really a flowy style.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
And we talked earlier about musical improv, which is another one of your passions, which we talked about.
Oh, I should have just done some singing and made you sing, Jay, in that one.
Oh, then we'll have to do it next time.
Yes.
I always musical improv. If you just are confident, you will get applause after songs. It doesn't have to have a structure. It doesn't have to rhyme. It's just that for some reason, standing out there and singing, even if it's not good, the person I remember, this is 30 years ago. I remember watching this guy. His name's Phil Granchi, and this dude, we would play a musical game we were in an improv group together, and it was musical chairs. So if the music stopped and you didn't have a chair, you had to sing a title from the audience in a genre. They would say,
wow, awesome.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I got grunge a lot. I got rap a lot. But this guy, Phil Granchi, got opera. I don't know why, all the time. And this guy would stand up there with confidence and you would be laughing, your ears would be bleeding because he was nowhere near any sort of note or pitch, but he just sold it. And it was with such fun that it was like the funniest thing you could ever see. It was watching this guy just with the utmost confidence, loudly belting it out. And it was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I think in musical improv, it's all about commitment,
Right.
And the thing is, like, I've done a show before with a guy who never sung, and he basically was not great. And I've been a singer for 20 years, so I'm sitting there, critiquing myself as it's going, and is this in pitch and da da da, and he just and he totally upstaged me 100% because he was so amazingly committed, passionate, in the moment, everything you want from an improviser, and I think someone said to me once about a musical improv that the kind of purpose of music in improv is that you're at this point where the emotion is so heightened that you have to sing about it.
You can't just talk. You can't just say the word.
Exactly. And so I find the feedback from people with musical improv as well is that they don't think so much
Yes.
because they're embodied and they're in that place of emotion. So I think that's really interesting.
I mean, it is so early on. I noticed like when people were musicians and had musical training, sometimes it was very hard for them, and it makes sense to improvise a song because it was like
Yeah.
music directors, even now, but especially when I started, they'll like give you a note to start, and then you could just go anywhere, and they're like, "I'll catch up to you." And like people
Yeah.
who are like trained in like song structure and how a song flows, it would be very frustrating because they're trying to get it right. And
Yes.
then you have people who aren't trained in that way who are just like, I'm just going to be confident and belt it and make some sort of clever rhyme.
Yep.
They were able just to pop into it. And so I think now, after a long time, I think we're starting to see people like you and Stacey Smith, like these amazing vocalists who are trained and can hit a pitch and a note. And TJ Mannix in New York is another guy who's just like, these people do. Stacey and TJ both do solo music improv shows, and I saw TJ do a show with a guy, and the piano player couldn't keep rhythm. So TJ was like, and he still was phenomenal. So it's like, I think you're seeing the melding of, oh, you have training and you're able to improvise. I think that's the best of both worlds. It's like you're confident, but also really strong as a singer and can do like melodies and structures and harmonies. I mean, it's a completely different, wonderful talent.
Yeah, I think as well. The other thing that I have an appreciation for is that it's like in an ensemble. It's like being in a band. You know, everybody plays a separate instrument and they all have their own style. So somebody's a bass player, a drummer, a keyboard player, but we've all got to be playing the same song. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah.
So let's listen.
Yeah. First thing still applies. Let's listen.
Yeah, exactly. But it gives you a greater appreciation because when you're in a band, you really appreciate what a bass player does. You really appreciate what a drummer does, what a keyboard player does, you know, what a violin player does, whatever. You know, everybody's unique. They've got their own voicings and their own melody and their own way of harmonizing. But at the end of the day, it's a band,
Right.
you know. So, yeah, I think that's probably something that I am passionate about when it comes to sort of group improv.
Well, I think that's what having that experience. I feel like people who are in bands or people who are in team sports,
Yeah,
I think
sports too. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, okay, cool. You get the idea of we're bringing our strengths to the table. We're
Yep.
giving space for people to do stuff. When it's time for you to take the ball or take the solo, take it, but then come back and let's share it. So I think
Totally.
people have a little bit of a head start when they're used to doing kind of that group creation thing.
Yeah, and the other side of that too is to just stop being an asshole to yourself. Like you're a guitarist, don't try and be a drummer. You know what I mean? Embrace your talents, embrace what it is, how you play. You know, so long as you're still listening to everybody else, you've got a unique gift to give in that group. You know, hone those strengths that you have.
No,
You
no,
know,
Lindsay, I'm an idiot and I'm a fool and I'm an imposter and I want to play drums like he plays drums. Don't you get it? I can't play that way, but I'm jealous he plays that way. So I want to play that way. Why can't I play that way?
because you're a guitarist.
Well, fine. I did spend a bit of my improv journey being like, oh, why can't I do these big over the top characters like these people that I know? And it's like, eventually I just became comfortable with, oh, that's not the game I like to play or am I good at? But if I let that other person be good at it, I can play these other characters, which I think are my strength. So I think at a certain point, you just don't care as much. And for some people, it
Yeah.
comes earlier. And some people, it
Yeah.
takes a little bit longer to be like, oh, yeah, just play guitar, man. Just do that guitar thing. We're going to have a great show. And it's the reward of you all had a great show far for me outweighs the reward of like, hey, man, you were funny. You like that thing of like, hey, you were funny. Where it's like, I don't want that. I want you to go, I love the show. I want to come back. That's a big compliment.
Yes, totally. It's like, I heard that song. I love that song. I'm
Yeah.
not just thinking of the guitar solo or it's the entirety of the song, you know. Yeah, I love it. I love it, love it, love it.
How are you finding the transition to doing musical improv virtual? Because that's a whole nother element of like trying to figure out how just to hear the music and then to also for the audience watching to hear it at the same time. It can be done. I've seen it done, but it isn't, it is a little bit trickier.
It is trickier. Look, Zoom's improved a lot, and now there's a function that's like a music function. And also, if you turn on original sound, make sure you can turn on original sound. It won't keep cutting out signals.
Right.
So that helps. But also, what I find as a piano player is I've never been the kind of piano player that's like awesome at solos and things like that. I'm not a great piano player. I use piano to write songs. So what I am good at though is just holding a chordal structure over and over again. For Zoom, that is a great thing because it's just going over and over again. And so people can come in at different points and you don't really notice that it's in the wrong place or something like that. So the more intricate you get, the harder it is for the singers and people to kind of not sound like they're doing the wrong thing. So long as it sounds more sort of looped, people can sort of join on the second beat rather than the first. And it's not going to sound like weird. So that's the first thing. Number two is making sure all of the players use those settings in Zoom. So you've got your music setting and you're turning on original sound. I have almost had pretty good success with harmonizing at the same time. It's getting there. But as a general rule, you're probably best off to do sort of like one person will take 4 lines, the next person will take 4 lines, and so on and so forth. Yeah. And then with musical improv, you know, when we talk about choruses, it's not like a real song where a chorus could be like 4 lines in a song. It's more, it can be one word or one sentence said over and over again. So that way there is a kind of, and usually that will be to do with either the suggestion or the theme of what we're singing or talking about, said over and over again. And then that way everyone's on board and they know as soon as that comes back, we're in the chorus for 4 lines, we're in the chorus, that's what's going to happen. It looks like magic, but there's a little bit of structure like to it in the background.
It's just reminding folks, it's like, Hey Jude. It's like, just sing.
Yeah, it's totally. Yes. And like 100%.
You know, because if you look at a lot of like rock songs, especially, it's like, let's repeat the chorus a whole bunch and then a bunch of na-na-na-nas if you're lost.
Yes, and there is an actual practical reason for it in improvised musical stuff as well, is because you are making it on the spot. You don't really want to be remembering too much, but if you can just remember one word and you can keep coming back to that word or that sentence, it's going to look amazing. You know, like audiences love it when a chorus comes back. They're like, oh, how did they do it? You know,
it's a callback.
Yeah.
It's a callback, and they're like, I was here the first time he did that.
Yes. Yeah. Totally. Yeah,
it's so funny, isn't it? Like the more you do this, the more you're just like, my big suggestion, just simple. Just simple, like simple. Everything, just 100%. Anything simple.
Yeah. 100%.
If people want to reach out to you to like, you know, follow what you're doing or bring you on board as a teacher or coach or see shows or whatever, what's the best way they can do that?
If they're on Facebook, they can just look up Lindsay Drummond. That's Lindsay Drummond. And then there's Lindsay Drummond Improviser, which is another Facebook page. Also website www.improvhub.com.au. Is another way to get in touch. And got YouTube as well, which I'm up to 94 subscribers. I'm trying to get more people.
You just need 6 more. Yeah. 6 more, you can get the customized.
Yes. I'll get the round number. Can get the symmetry of the zeros. So it's youtube.com back or forward. Never know what that slash is. It's just a slash. Lindsay Drummond.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Is it forward? Is it back? I don't know. Yeah. Does it matter? It doesn't. It's just a slash. It doesn't
matter, Lindsay. It just doesn't matter. Well, it's been a true treat for me because we've known each other on social media for a while, and like I'm so thankful that you took time out. And whether we do it in virtual space or real space, person to person, I can't wait to play with you again. Thank you so much, Lindsay.
Yep, me too. Can you just give me a sec? Hang on.
Anything?
I just did improv with Jay. Yeah.
Improv with Lindsay. I feel the same way. You're a treat. I can't wait to do it again. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
All right. Bye,
Thank you.
Lindsay.
Bye.